Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Entertainment Banter. My name is Joel.
And I'm Matt.
Yeah, you are. Did you just shave? Did you shave today?
I did shave, yes.
Wow,
Thank you for noticing.
I did.
Well, you were complaining about how rough it was, so
I do.
I shaved for you.
I don't like it against my skin. What, what, stop laughing. What are we talking about today, Matt?
Joel, I think we want to talk about, I don't know, villains. We just want to talk about
Villains.
villains as a whole through the history of entertainment. Not real villains, like Jeffrey Dahmer, but we're talking about like movie characters or television characters or maybe even books.
And yeah, and maybe justify.
We're talking about the greatest villains of all time.
And maybe we should
That's
justify that maybe they're not even a villain. Maybe they were just misunderstood. Like,
right, acting 101.
you
They
just
are
never
not
know.
really villains.
Well, let's go with something like
in
let's
their
just go with
head.
something that they created long ago. The Wicked Witch of the West.
Ooh.
She was
all
a
right.
villain in she was claimed to be the villain in what movie?
The Wizard of Oz.
Wow. But then we went years ago, and then years later, many,
Yes.
maybe even decades
Oh,
later,
I see what you're doing.
They-
Yep, I see what you're doing.
they made a musical called Wicked, where they explained why she was a wicked witch, but she was just
Right.
misunderstood. So would
She
you?
was just misunderstood.
So it was almost like a twist. Like you got to see Dorothy's side
Well,
of the story.
well, there was that era where we liked our anti-heroes, right? And even the good guys turned bad. That kind of, even the comics, they did that. Captain America becomes bad at some point.
Oh,
you
and
know,
they claimed
works
he
for
was
Hydra.
Hydra.
Yeah. So
The fallen
so,
hero
I mean-
was really interesting to us for a while, at least our culture.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fallen hero.
Absolutely. Well, and again, that's just that was an era, just like we have all kinds of eras throughout. You notice every 10 years we've talked about numerous times. There's like
Yeah.
a theme of the decade, so to speak.
It's so true though. We had like the major hero. That's where you got like the major Boy Scouts and the major like we are America, blah blah. So we got Superman and Captain America. We're like they're the Boy Scout. They represent everything that's great about we are America. And then you get
Right.
And then you get years later. Now you get like we don't want to see the superhero. We want to see him fail. We want to see him crumble. We want to see it
Right.
fall. Like a lot of the Avenger movies you're seeing today, like you saw, I just watched Civil War yesterday, and you realize the movie doesn't end on a happy note. The Avengers
of
are
course
split up.
Yes.
And then you watch, Infinity War, and then I can't save spoilers in case someone listens to this, but
Well, yeah.
but it
Yeah,
ends on
well,
a
okay.
sad note there too.
Yes. Yeah.
So
of
it's
course.
just like you start seeing the heroes are failing, and people love seeing that because there's always a redemption story, something coming
Sure.
from it.
That's
But
true.
besides that,
Well, even Christopher Reeve's Superman, like I can't remember if it was 3 or 4, but there was a moment in time where he gets corrupted by something. I can't remember what, and he splits into two persons, and
was that Bizarro
basically
Superman?
he Superman fights like this evil version of Superman.
Interesting.
And so like Christopher Reeves actually fights himself. He fights like this doesn't give a this Superman that basically does. It's kind of like The Boys, I'm guessing, because I haven't watched that show yet, but I'm only speculating. But basically he does whatever the hell he wants. It's kind of like a Hancock but worse, what I mean?
Hancock. Oh my God. I
And
forgot
and
Hancock.
so regular Superman and this evil Superman go head to head until Clark, resolves the issue by fighting it out. But so like we've definitely have anti-heroes all the time, but I was thinking as you were talking, like I'm just thinking of generic villains of all time, like Dracula, right?
Dracula?
That's,
But he could just be
I mean,
misunderstood.
but again, that's
He's
another
just-
misunderstood
he's just
character,
hungry.
right?
He needs
Right.
food. Just like Galactus
Well-
in Marvel is misunderstood because he needs planets to survive.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You're right. So your point is very valid. Same thing. Like this is more of a stretch where it's like King Kong. Like everyone's like, oh, when you're a kid, you think, oh, he's a bad guy, but really he's totally the victim. And
But they show that in that movie, though.
Godzilla also he comes across
He
as
does,
a villain
but
as a
then they
kid,
use
but
him.
then he's actually the savior of
Right?
you know what I mean?
Oh my God! Just like in Jurassic Park, you consider the Tyrannosaurus Rex the villain, like because he's like the
Right.
bad dinosaur.
Well, this is classic writing 101
Right?
sci-fi stuff.
but
you know?
then he's the hero.
But whatever causes the problem in a sci-fi film is also the solution.
Well, what about aliens?
Same thing.
Are you sure?
What causes
Didn't they get
what cause?
what?
But what causes the problem is also the solution too.
What caused aliens? Or alien?
Well, it depends on the plot or the situation at the time. But if you remember the colonization, right? Like science is what causes the problem, and then science is what usually fixes the problem in the alien film.
That's very
one way or another.
vague about using science because that's all they are up there is doing.
Well,
science.
that's what I mean. If you look at a science fiction film,
All
that's
right.
usually what it is. You know, you were talking about what were you talking about? You were talking about we were
Well,
talking about
Dracula,
the monster
redemption.
movies.
Yeah, redemption stories.
They tend to be redemption,
Or like
ones
the other side, or the
love
other side
stories.
of the coin. Like they're just misunderstood people. We're just seeing one
Right.
side of it, which I think is great. But some would argue you didn't watch it yet. But if you watch Breaking Bad, some
Right.
would argue that Walter White is the villain throughout the whole series.
Right, just because based on what he's doing.
Based on, well, think about it. Like he's doing this. He's a teacher that got diagnosed with cancer who wants to make meth to leave money behind for his family, almost like a
Right.
legacy. But then eventually, within the second season, he's already enjoying what he's doing. So then he does it.
Which villains can do that.
Right,
Villains
right.
can do that.
So then at the end of the whole show, he tells his ex-wife now, he tells her, like, you know, she sees her and she goes, "Don't tell me it was for us." And he goes, "No, I did this for me because I was good at it and I liked it." So he got to liking killing. He got to liking making the meth and living this lifestyle. He loved it. Like, I think because he felt like he was in more control. And like you could argue like you're following the villain the whole time.
Sure.
You can make that
Yeah.
argument easily.
Well, I'm a, I'm simple.
Or the
simple
antagonist.
Guy, so I totally like, for me, I obviously Darth Vader, the Joker.
Well, the
These
Darth
are
Vader's
villains I
good,
think
those are
of.
good villains. I mean, the Joker has
But then
his
he
role.
has a redemption story too, though. Joker is the only
Well, the
one
Joker-
that so far that we've talked about that has no redemption whatsoever.
Well, the
he
thing
had a
is,
bad
he
day.
has to exist for
Yeah.
Batman to exist. It's one of those
Yeah.
things.
And his origin story, based on which one you follow or trust.
God, there's so
or
many now.
accept.
Even on film, there's
But-
so many.
But on the average whole, especially I'm basing it kind of off the Killing Joke a little bit. But supposedly just one bad day ruined his life. So he is a victim. So they're all victims, right? It
We're
seems
all-
to be the villains are all victims.
We're all
at some
one
point, right?
one bad day from becoming a villain.
I'm
right?
trying to think of a villain that was never fully established as a victim, because even you mentioned before the pod, like Walking Dead, and like
Right,
for me,
you could argue the zombies.
humanity's bad, right?
The zo-
Some
are-
characters are just bad,
Are the zombies the
but
villain?
the zombies, I think the zombies are villains in the show because naturally they're just massive problems, but they are themselves victims. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the zombies themselves are victims, right? They didn't ask to be eaten when they
No.
died. They didn't ask to come back. It's kind of
Right.
like that kind of situation. So
I mean, look at
It's-
yeah. I mean, I would say humanity is the villain antagonist in that, and the zombies are just plot devices to. You're like, oh, by the way, we're in a zombie. Like, it was just a further, the fall of humanity, and let's see how humanity handles it. But then the zombies were the plot device to push that forward.
right, and even I don't want to touch too much on horror films. Michael Myers and
Michael Myers.
and Freddy
Yeah.
Krueger and all that stuff,
Mhm.
because they each were abusive or abused.
Right.
And it's so horror films are kind of a bad example. They're all
awful.
villains, obviously,
Awful.
but they're not really.
This could be
It's hit or miss.
that could be a leeway into our Halloween special.
Yeah, but Jaws. I was thinking about Jaws. That's
See, you
the only
said
monster movie.
Oh my God, we had that argument.
where I feel like there was no victimization of the character. You know what I mean?
Well, you
the
feel
creature or
you
whatever.
feel Jaws was
Except
the villain.
for 3.
You
'cause
feel
that
like
is
Jaws.
revenge or whatever.
You feel like
2.
Jaws was the villain, though, right? The antagonist.
I considered Jaws the villain. Yeah.
Like, because Jaws
I
went
mean, it
after
depends
the
on which
boat.
movie you're watching, which Jaws. But I'm sorry, what's that?
Because you said Jaws went after the boat in the first one, like it deliberately went after them. You don't think because they're in this territory?
Yeah, the shark legitimately is hunting and stalking. It's like a revenge kind of thing. But in that movie, I don't think there was revenge per se caused by the shark. I don't think they did anything to the shark. Whereas I can't remember. It's literally called Jaws' Revenge.
Right.
And,
Was that the one where they killed the baby, right?
Well, they killed and I don't know if they're implying that the first shark movie was the baby, or because they killed a shark, but it wasn't like they thought it was Jaws and it wasn't. And then, the mama came after literally that movie was kind of ridiculous because that movie, the shark is actually hunting the family that did it. Does that make sense?
I'm confused.
Like specifically going after the family.
Okay, I'm young. Can you explain? Like, Jaws is just a really big great white shark, right? That's all it was.
Yes. So the first movie was a great white shark, and it was just munching people. And at the end of the movie, they're trying to kill it, but it's also like you think they're stalking the shark, but really the shark is stalking them.
Okay.
So then there's a second movie, and I don't remember.
But they blow up that shark.
They blew up that shark.
With
that
the helium
shark's
tank,
gone.
right?
But then, and then there's another one comes and for the second movie, and then third movie and fourth movie, and I can't remember one. I think 3 is where they do an underwater theme park, and
I think so.
There's one, Jaws' Revenge, I thought was towards the end of the series, where I feel like the family that's been responsible, the father or mother, whatever, that was responsible for killing these sharks, like I guess the mama shark just knows them and is purposely going after them when they're in the water. So, but I can't remember. We're getting off subject.
I gotta watch those movies. I was just looking at my things on my table here, and I see Master Chief's helmet. So I'm thinking, as you go and play the Halo games, you first have the antagonist of the Covenant,
Cortana. Yeah, and then, Cortana's a villain.
First the Covenant.
I'm joking.
Then it turns into the Flood. Then it turns into the Forerunners. And these are all good villains, and then you start, your enemy, the enemy of your enemy is my friend, right?
Right,
kind of thing.
Of course.
The war ends, and then Cortana becomes the villain now. She is the villain.
She actually, I was joking.
Is. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Halo 4, she becomes.
Oh, wait,
she becomes.
I think you're right. You're going against the AI. Yeah.
Right.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So it's just interesting to watch. And the thing is, so explain this. So you watch a lot of AI movies, right? Like say Terminator, Halo. Let's talk
Terminator,
even
Skynet. That's a perfect.
Yeah. Right.
evil.
Right. So hold on.
Yeah.
So then you also get was it what's the movie called iRobot? All these movies with artificial intelligence. And they all have the same motive. It's not to kill humanity. They just see that humanity can't take care of themselves anymore, and they need to step in. You know what I mean? Even like Age of Ultron.
I don't know about Skynet. I think Skynet found humanity a threat.
Well, just like Age of Ultron too, as well. They're just trying to kill humanity off. Like as soon as they get activated.
And of course, again, the irony is humanity created all of it. So.
Right, and that's like we created this to help us, but then in the end, it learns about us and it goes, "You guys are the problem."
Which, by the way, is happening now.
Absolutely.
There's I forget the name of the robot, but there's a legit AI robot that is learning. And it even has joked about how humans are worried about them killing us.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
That's creepy.
I'm doing air quotations because we're not visually yet. But it joked. Which I was like, ha ha ha.
How does a robot have
so funny.
Sarcasm already? That isn't.
It's just because it's data. It never forgets. It just constantly adds its information.
So
it adds it at a higher rate than we could possibly do it.
No matter what we do, no matter how many movies, sci-fi creations, I'm sure there's hundreds and dozens and millions.
We don't learn from our.
We don't learn from any of that, and then it's gonna happen. And the thing is, it's gonna be like, because there was a joke the other day, they're like, "Oh, what if the coronavirus causes the zombie virus?" And like, please, everyone's like,
wouldn't put it past.
Everyone's just like, please let it be the Walking Dead viruses and not the World War Z virus, the zombies, because the zombies.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Think about it. Like, if an AI takes over, do you want Skynet? Would you rather have Cortana? Would you rather have the iRobot one?
I'd rather have C-3PO.
I mean, yeah, I mean.
He walks slow, and he brings us stuff.
And he has a comedic value to him.
And when we tell him to shut up, he shuts up.
But I mean, like, what if you have an AI that starts running the muck? What would you rather have at this point? Like, we're doomed, right? We're just fucked.
Yes, we are doomed. Yes, we're doomed. I feel like we would be doomed.
That's creepy. That should be a topic for another day. AIs.
I love AIs now
Oh,
that they're recording our pods through the internet. I think you guys do a great job. Keep up the good work.
oh, yeah, they're part of the ones that are blocking us from being. I mean, you're doing the best you can.
It's funny how every
Hi.
time we take a hiatus and come back on our pods, like Disney's like doing everything we talked about. I couldn't get over. They even mentioned in that. Sorry, we're rambling now. This is bantering. I talked
You
to
don't
Joel
have to tell
because like
people that, but
the
anyway,
Disney
they
Plus.
tune into
I mean,
this shit.
it's old now, obviously, but Disney Plus put out this friggin'
Oh
show
my gosh.
like after we just talked about everything with them, and it's like another behind the scenes show because coronavirus they can't film anything, so they just make this shit up. And we literally talked about the Japan Spider-Man. We talked
Are you
about all the
sure?
things that they were talking about. We did. I know we did.
I
And
know I sent you that
know.
honest trailer. That's a plug.
Well, they also
Go watch Honest
I
Trailers.
mean, and this is not funny at all. I mean, like a lot of our friends are out of work now, and because of all the stuff that's going on in California, and
It's not, yeah, but it's not just California.
It's- it's not just California,
it's
but
part
most of
company-wide.
our people are
Yeah.
in California,
Right.
so it's tough. It's tough, but it's funny too in the sort of sick kind of way because as I peruse my Facebook pages and stuff with all my friends to check in, see how they're doing, I see these kind of like tidbits of hope in a weird sort of way where people are getting back to their roots. Like I'm not going to mention names, but some people are like starting to dye their hair and they're starting to like go back to their grassroots. I think maybe they're going to start pursuing other career choices again, get out of the rut that they might have been in, and who
Right.
knows, they might even make better careers of themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
It's maybe a good thing in the long run. Right
I
now,
think
it seems
it,
bad.
every
but
once in a while, it's the shakeup is awful. Like, and if you
Yeah.
loved what you did, it's awful.
Right.
You know, but it's a forced opportunity. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's not something you wanted, and it's definitely sucks. But sometimes when you're in the muck for so long, it's really hard to forget. It's not hard to forget. It's easy to forget.
Well, we all say that because we all
other aspects.
You and I left
You know
the
what I mean?
muck, and now we're like, we can look back at. You
we
know
have
what I mean?
different muck. We're in different muck. It's it's different muck.
In
But
this-
I think
In this scenario, is Disney the villain, or is it?
no, I think the COVID-19 is the villain in this scenario. But yeah, anyways, all right, so villains. I can't get past Joker. I think I just like that character. He's
He's a good
he
villain.
creeps me out. He creeps me
Absolutely.
out. Like there's, like I can't think of another. You
can
can think of like
any-
Hannibal Lecter. You can think about like what did Kevin Spacey play in Seven? I can't remember his name.
But
I mean, like
honestly,
you can
you're
think
not,
of those
you're,
types.
You're onto something because name a villain right now that doesn't have a motive besides Joker. Joker like has no motive. Like literally, I love how what is it? Michael Caine says in the Dark Knight,
right
as
right.
Alfred, and he goes, "Some men just want to watch the world burn," and it's
Right.
true, and that's all Joker wants to do. He wants to watch the world burn. Name a villain that you like to watch on TV that's his only motive.
Yeah, I mean
That's
the only other
scary
character
thing. That's the scary
or
thing.
real, depending on your beliefs, but like Satan himself. You know what I mean? Like that's the only other thing that I think people.
But he has a motive.
right. That's true. You're right. There you go. You're right.
They have
So-
motives. Like every villain has a motive. Like Darth Vader wants to, bring peace, or what is it? Bring the Republic. I don't know what did Darth Vader want to do?
Well, he just wanted to rule.
He
just
wanted the
to
rule. Motive. The Emperor wanted the rule. You had Ganon and Link who wanted to rule over the kingdoms. You
Yeah,
have
that's a real easy story.
right.
arc,
You have
know?
Cortana who wanted to protect
the
all
world.
human world. You have every Dragon Ball Z villain that just wanted to destroy the Earth and conquer the universe for whatever reason.
Did Skynet, other than feeling humans were threats, is that the only reason why it went after humans? Like, what was the purpose for them to constantly go after humans?
I feel like Skynet had the same motivation as the robots in Matrix. They were discriminated against as robots, and they decided to take out humankind. Humankind's were a threat to their existence. I think that's what their motive is. But what happens when the last human being's gone?
Yeah.
What do you do then?
I think a villain that I wish I don't want to say it because I actually might just write it. So never mind. I'll skip that one. I like. I'm a kid from the '80s, obviously, so I grew up watching a whole bunch of like Sunbow Marvel shows.
Skeletor.
And, anime. Skeletor's a classic. And that story is creepy too, because the guy that helped design that, if you go and watch a documentary, he was in, I think it was California. He went to a fun house, and there was actually a dead guy in there, skeleton. He came across it.
Oh my god! And that's how he came up with the idea.
It just stuck with him and came up with it.
That's creepy as all hell.
Yeah,
Wow.
Skeletor's a great. Well, I was just gonna say, I'm glad you brought up Skeletor, because if you actually watch He-Man, Skeletor's actually hilarious.
We should
Cobra
do a
Commander
He-Man. I need
is
to
actually
watch it.
hilarious.
We should do a He-Man pod.
Yeah, well, I was kind of waiting for Netflix to release their new He-Man show with Kevin Smith doing it, so we'll see what happens, if that still happens or not. We could wait a little bit for that, but what I was gonna say villains. When we think villains, great villains,
right?
We don't necessarily think comedic.
No,
you know what I mean? Like Dr. Evil or
Dr. Evil.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's a villain, but they're hilarious.
He's the antagonist. Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
got a generic. Like generic Bond villains. You got a bunch of generic Bond. Bond villains are great. I like the Bond villains. They're the closest to comic book villains come to life, so to speak. Down to earth comic book villains. You know, back especially in the 80s, they all had like gimmicks like Jaws, you know, like his mouth would always bite, you know what I mean? It's all metal, and you had I
don't know why
Odd Job, where his hat would like cut people's heads off,
and then in Spy Shagged or whatever in Austin Powers, it was a shoe he threw.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you just throw a shoe at me?
But you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of funny villains. Like, sometimes people relate to the comedy aspect of the villains too. Like, Rick Moranis in Spaceballs is a classic. You know?
Well, do you? Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say that poor guy just got decked in the face. Like, my brother sent a post. It was kind of funny because he's like, "What asshole?" Of course, in 2020, someone's gonna hit fucking Lord Helmet in the face. It's just like.
Lord
this is
Helmet.
the shittiest year.
Ooh, I bet she gives good Helmet.
But you know what I mean? Like, I tend to side and laugh about the villains. Robot Chicken, Star Wars, you know, and Stewie Griffin in a lot of ways is a douchebag. He could almost be a villain.
The antagonist in Family Guy.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, let's step this up a bit before we close up this little talk of ours. Name a villain you feel sorry for.
Oh boy! All right, do you have one? I'll think
no,
about it.
I don't. I was hoping you had one on.
Okay.
If I just asked you,
it's a good question.
Like, who would you feel sorry for, kind of thing?
It's a very good question. Well, we talked about Black Panther. I would say I'd feel sorry for him.
Killmonger.
Yep.
Because I feel like he wasn't wrong.
At least he
wasn't wrong
version.
in the sense. You know what I mean?
No.
Like
and God help me, there's something about Killing Joke, that book, that I hate that book because it does make me. It's so fucked up what the Joker does in that story, but at the same time,
he's the one who rapes. He rapes.
That bonding. Well, I don't even know if he personally does it. I think it's he's got his little midget minions running around doing it too.
Right. Ew.
After she was shot, he definitely. So people that don't know the Killing Joke, basically Joker kidnaps Commissioner Gordon's daughter.
Go back to podcast like 22. I think it's over there somewhere.
Yeah, something like that. And he shoots her in the back and paralyzes her. And then he takes her to his dwelling, his carnival base or whatever, and he strips her down naked, defiles her, takes pictures of it, and sends them to Commissioner Gordon. And the purpose is that he wants to make a point that all it takes is one really bad day, and it will you can turn into the Joker. Like if you saw that happening to your daughter, it would make you go crazy. Is basically what happens. And so that part is absolutely screwed up. But when Joker fails, and somehow Commissioner Gordon fights with all of his fiber of his being, his emotions, to not go crazy, and Batman talks him down just barely, there's a moment in time where Joker realizes he failed, and he tells a joke to Batman, and it's like one of the first and only times you see like a more human side of the Joker, where Batman lets his guard down for a second and it kind of laughs at the Joker's joke.
I know.
And they share this intimate moment.
It was a good cartoon.
I mean,
it was a good animated film, actually.
Yeah, well, the animated film is different from the comic.
Right.
Like, it's but But to me, like, see, I can't, with a clear conscience, feel sorry for the Joker because he's so deranged. But I mean, that's a
Right.
moment
It's a moment.
where I can sympathize with him for a second. And that's what makes that story so
Okay.
good.
Okay.
But I can't. I mean, I don't
I
know.
felt. I
I'm
felt.
feeling like
I felt bad for Jamie Foxx's Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
okay,
I don't know why, because like he was just a misunderstood. Again, another misunderstood villain.
right?
But he was
right.
just so misunderstood, and he just wanted to make Spider-Man proud, but he went insane, and then he started just losing control of his power. And then, of course, violence brings upon violence, and it has to be a superhero movie, so Spider-Man tried to use violence to stop him, which enraged him more, which creates him to who he is. So in the beginning, I felt bad for him, because he's just, he's a guy who worked at Oscorp, and he was just trying to do a good job. He was just, on the spectrum and doing his thing.
Right.
And then I know On the Spectrum is going to be outlawed soon. We can't say that soon, I'm sure. That's on. But it just, you felt bad for him through the movie, and then when it all happens to him, you're like, can't we just talk to him? Why are we hitting him? Why are we punching him?
I'm sure if I had more time, I could probably come up with way more. It was a great question, and I'm surprised I can't think, on a. The only thing I thought of, and it's not very good, but like there was a movie that came out in the '90s called Falling Down, and it was Michael Douglas.
Boom, check up.
And basically, he's having, it's like the Joker. He's just having a really bad day, but he fights the system. He fights back. He starts standing up for himself. He doesn't put up with it anymore. But then at the end, it ends tragically because all he wanted to do was like go to his kid's birthday party. He's going through a divorce, or had gone through a divorce. It's been a while since I've seen it. And everybody's just making it difficult. He's just trying to get a present, trying to get out of traffic, trying to do all these things, and he ends up getting shot at the end. And because he did a lot of fucked up stuff throughout, he starts fighting back. Like people that are rude, he does a modern day spanking on them, kind of thing. And but yeah, it's like a dark comedy / ending to a victimized situation. I don't know, but that's a good question. I might have to think about it and talk more about it later.
Maybe
with you.
we'll come back. Yeah, but do you have any final thoughts?
Okay. Yeah, so my final thought actually is a question to you, okay?
Great.
You just gotta, the worst, or what is the best villain? Like, you gotta, just tell me what you think is the best villain that's ever been created. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, I mean, what's going on? What do you think is the best one?
Honestly, from who we've been talking about just tonight, the Joker would probably be one of the best villains of all time, just because a villain with no true motives is a villain you can't capture at all, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, how do you catch the Joker when he doesn't care about going to jail? He doesn't care about this or that. He doesn't care about robbing for money. He just, he's insane.
Yeah.
Like, you have other villains or antagonists they have weaknesses. Does the Joker really have a weakness?
Yeah, I mean, Batman, I would say, is his weakness, to be honest with you.
Only one.
Because you said Joker, and I do agree with you. I can't help not think of Star Wars, and everyone thinks Darth Vader's the ultimate villain, but it's actually the Emperor. I mean, this guy has lived through 3 generations.
Palpatine.
Yeah, I mean, and like he's manipulated, like whole civilizations, people. I mean, like he's, what I'm saying? This the behind the scenes manipulation is really creepy if you think about it, and the patience of waiting and destroying everything. I mean, that's his goal, take over everything and destroy everything and manipulate everyone to do it. That's creepy. It's creepy, creepy, creepy.
They should remake it.
Well, they might. They might. So that's it. So is that your final thought?
I was going to say one last thing. I don't think a lot of the villains we see on TV and portrayed, no one wakes up in the morning and says, I want to fuck up shit today. They're just misunderstood. Come on. What am I trying to say? Put out an olive branch and see what you grab.
You put it out an olive branch in front of the Joker, and I'll watch from a safe
He'll be
distance.
the only one I don't stretch it out to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. See. Yeah. They're villains for a reason.
Okay.
Yeah. So no. Because here's the thing too. Even if they started out good, and then something happened, at some point it becomes a choice. Like
they
you
still
said, like
made the
Breaking
choice.
Bad.
They still made the choice.
Yeah. It's like goes back to your Breaking Bad thing.
Choice.
Yeah, they
Choices.
like it now.
Choices.
You know, they'll stab you with that olive branch.
What
you
does
know?
Colossus say in Deadpool 2? Deadpool 1, 3 to 5 moments that defines a hero. 3 to 5 moments that can define you as a hero. So they can also define you as a villain.
Right, right.
So
So, on that note, thank you for listening to Entertainment Banter. My name is Matt.
my name is Joel, and I'm done.